It's going to help us or hurt us?
To really make it stick. Well, since plan one, but you cannot take crabs inside Morro Harbor. Your swell's out there that day, so.
The old bonk arrow.
I think that's the plan. Oil is at 360 or a little more. It's a beautiful day in Morro Bay, and I've got fishing on my mind. The charter boat captains bark out the rules as the hopefuls sail out the harbor. I can't help but feel like one of them as I paddle my boat across the channel and hope for a grand fishing adventure today. The tide's coming in, so I drag the yak up to safety. My gear is stowed in the front seat, strapped in place by the seat itself, turned upside down, which really makes it almost impossible for it all to fall out. Old metal frame backpack with a new pack put on there and a cold pack strapped to it, rides perfectly on my hips. For waders, I just use an old wetsuit and some surf sandals with some booties on. I actually put regular socks underneath the booties. While I'm walking there, I see this group of old guys. They're about my age.
How's it going? Guys look like you've been doing this for 40 years or something.
It's amazing they were already on their way back.
Somebody just left a little rock art right here.
That's the sand spit of Morro Bay.
Okay, we're out here at, well, we're past the South Jetty. We're on the sand spit. We're going to try a little perch fishing, little smelt fishing, see what the heck is out here today. Swells are only supposed to be, 2 to 4 foot, so last time I was out here trying to film, 6 months ago, was crazy. So we're back out to give it a try. We might head out to the sand jetty. You can see there's a big ship out there. It's dredging. I don't know. I don't know if the dredge is going to help us or hurt us. So.
Well, the current was just a lot worse than I thought, and I didn't have big enough weights to really get my line to be able to stay anywhere. So shore fishing didn't last long. Crab snaring too, but basically the same problem. Got to get some big, I think like 4 6-ounce pyramid weights to really make it stick.
This is really good for rock hounding, and look, since no one comes over here, found me an agate right off.
Well, since plan one fell apart, we decided a variation was in order. We head over to the South Jetty and go down a little ways, not way down deep, and kind of try to shore fish from there, just back behind the first break or so. Actually started off with a crab snaring there, and I found out you can crab snare on the ocean side, but you cannot crab snare on the harbor side of Morro Bay. You can fish inside the bay all you want, but you cannot take crabs inside Morro Harbor. It's a protected area. If you do take a crab on the ocean side, you have to take the whole crab. You can't just take one claw. That's the law. Had some bigger swells out there that day, so nice to have the wetsuit on and just let them bang into you and not worry about it too much. I'd forgotten my bag o' batteries, so all I had was the batteries in my camera. So at this point, I had removed my chest camera there, so it didn't matter if I got splashed. Well, plan 2 basically had the same faults as plan 1. Too much surge, couldn't really cast far enough away from the waves, and the whole thing's just kind of moving around everywhere. So figured I was going to have to move, find some place a little more protected, probably on the inside of the harbor, and that's what I did. And I found this little protected zone. You can see that rock kind of sticking out there, and I'm going to fish right behind that. Most of the area was way too surgy. I don't know if the ocean was just calming down and I got lucky a little bit, but that was about the most protected spot I could find. So hoping there's something down there. As it sped up, you can see that dredge just taking a big scoop of dirt right there, and it's going to turn around here and take it out and dump it out there somewhere. I always thought they should just find some place to make a nice break and I can surf that, but maybe next year. And then we got a bite. I had to show it off to the dredge guys. I don't know if they were watching, but I would have been. Out of here, in front of the nice jetty. Good job, Jetty, as usual. Got me a nice little black and yellow. He's a little small, though. I think we'll let that bugger go. Caught a fish. Now got a video. Then just about the same spot, get some more bite. Stand there like a cat, ready to pounce. Right in there. There you go. This one big enough to keep. What we need here is the old bonk arrow. Put the little guy right out of his misery and take him home for food. I spent the rest of the trip working my way back on the harbor side here, enjoying the view of the rock and the dredge out there. It was a great day. And our efforts were rewarded with a nice black and yellow. Those things are really tasty. I think I'm going to take it home and make it into like coconut shrimp kind of thing. Coconut black and yellow. I think that's the plan. In fact, I may have to pick up a little shrimp on the way home to go with that, so I can have the rockfish and the shrimp. Now that would be tasty. But before we can do that, I've got to get the little bugger flayed, and I got to jump back in the kayak and paddle across the bay. Thought I could drag this thing to my truck without unloading it, and ended up falling on my butt. I think I got it now. Are you sure? Yeah. Will you be able to carry it to your truck? Yes, sir? Will you be able to carry it to your truck? Oh, not good. I appreciate it. That guy was really nice, but I was just embarrassed and wanted to crawl in a hole somewhere. As you can see, it was a busy day. People were out. Everybody was having a great time and walking by, checking me out. Yeah, it was a great day in Morro Bay. You ought to get out here, do a little fishing, do a little hiking, and then take this stuff home, do a little cooking. Okay, coconut rockfish. Starts off with 1 large egg there, 2 tablespoons of flour, a teaspoon of salt, and a little pepper. And for the coating, we're going to use a cup of breadcrumbs and a cup of coconut there shreds, and that's the sweetened kind. That's what they have. Next time I do this, I think I'm going to chop those coconut strands down a little bit more. It'll stick a little better. So there's the rockfish. I'd already cut it up into 1.5-inch cubes, and now we're going to put it inside our sauce there. And that might have been a little thicker, maybe another tablespoon of flour, but we'll see. We'll see how it sticks. You see how nice and clean that rockfish is? I tell you, those black and yellows are tasty. Okay, so put the rockfish in the mixture there and shake it around and move it around and press it around and do all that stuff to really work that stuff in there, and then we'll get it ready to fry. As always, you want to make sure your oil is at 360 or a little more before you start frying. That way you won't get it too greasy and you'll get a good browning on the fish, just like everybody loves. You can hear that oil talking to you, and I still like to check the fish and make sure the inside's at least 140. But usually if it's browned well, it's going to be cooked well. Sometimes you can cook a little too fast and it's not ready, but usually if it's browned well, it's cooked well. And before I started, I had to cook up a few pieces of shrimp there at the same mixture, because my wife doesn't like rockfish, but she does like shrimp. So here it is. Here's the result. It looks pretty damn good. Let me taste it. Oh yeah, that was very, very nice. It was absolutely delicious. If I did anything more, I forgot a lemon or a lime would make this really good. The rockfish is so clean, and you had the sweet coconut. It was almost like a pastry. It was absolutely delicious, I must say. And I would probably chop up that coconut a little more. Just put it on a table and give it a few chops with a nice knife. It's only a cup or so. Anyway, let me get my camera fixed here and get back up on top of my surfboard. Gotta do a little stretches here, work that shoulder pretty good, and start the surfing.